episode, I think it's 73. I think. Could be 74. Anyway, welcome to the Modern Skein podcast. My name is Sharon Graff, and I am the owner of the Modern Skein, which is a yarn shop here in Montgomery, Texas. Thank you so much for tuning in and joining me this morning or this afternoon or whenever you might be watching it. And I hope that you enjoy everything that you see on these videos. Really working on that. Thank you so much again for tuning in. And if you are a returning viewer, welcome back. And if you're just getting started with us, hopefully you'll stick around. We have quite a few episodes that you can go back and watch. A lot of the information, especially as far as patterns and everything, is still completely relevant, even though we may or may not still have a yarn that we talk about. And of course, the events have probably since passed. But first couple things, I do want to chat a little bit about events. Normally we go straight into finished objects here, but I do want to talk about a couple events that are coming up, and then we can get started with the regular part of the podcast. So this week is the week of the anniversary. So we have been around for 3 years. Thank you so much to each and every single person out there that have, supported us, whether that be you made a purchase from the shop, you just came out and visited, you left reviews, you liked us, you commented, you watched this podcast, you subscribe, you visited the website. I mean, just a myriad of different things. Thank you to each and every one of you guys. You guys are how our business is still existing. It really is. So thank you. Thank you very much. It's so exciting to be able to celebrate the 3rd anniversary of the shop. And yeah, it's technically the 3rd anniversary of the storefront, because if you have been around since the very, very, very beginning of the shop, you know that technically launched July of 2017 with our online shop, and then we got the storefront. Second weekend of March was our official grand opening back in 2018. So cheers to you guys. Thank you so much. Again, I can't say thank you enough. And I hope that you will continue to support us, whether that be subscribing and liking our videos, liking our content on social media, sharing, saving, etc., whatever the algorithm wants you to do now. It's frustrating, frankly. But supporting us on social media, and of course supporting us in the shop, whether it be in store or online or however it is that you can support us. So thank you. It truly means a lot to both me and Josh, my husband, and to our employees. It really, you are making a difference. So thank you. Okay, so I say that. That being said, the anniversary starts Friday, both in store and online, with the code 3 years. It'll be put in the comments below. You can get an exclusive discount on the website and free shipping. And if you're in store, there's a bunch of fun promos and free items and all sorts of things. You can check it out on the website under events. It will list all the details. We are going to be open Friday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., so an hour later than our usual time on Friday. And then Saturday, we're going to be open 9 a.m., so an hour earlier, to 5 p.m., so a little hour earlier, extended hours. And then Sunday, we're normally not open on Sundays, but we will be open noon to 5 p.m. on Sunday. So come hang out with us, shop online, shop in store. We'll be having several trunk shows, 3 actually, highlighted for the show or for the event for the weekend. We will have Josh's wall should be completely restocked. I've got like 5 IKEA bags filled with yarn that I've got to bring in from the car. And yeah, some free gifts with purchase, some new exciting accessory and gift type items that are going to be launching this weekend. So it's going to be really, really fun. I hope you can come out and enjoy. We are going to have some baked goods, some little brownie thingies. I love brownies. You guys know that. So if you're in person, you'll get a little treat. Probably make some punch. Of course, we always have coffee. Of course, you can come sit and hang out with us anytime during the weekend, especially on Sunday, anytime. Just come hang out, knit, crochet, chit chat with other people. It's going to be a lot of fun. Okay. There is another event I wanted to talk about. I do have a, I just lost my mind. Anyway, for the most updated events, go to our website. That's the best way to know about events, get on the email newsletter. I know some people have been having trouble with the email newsletter lately. I did figure one thing out. So apparently, because some people have marked our newsletter as spam and junk, certain email providers are automatically, whether you mark it as spam or not, they're automatically marking our emails as spam unless you are getting like a transaction email. So you might get, let's say you place an order online, you'll probably get those emails, but you won't get the newsletters or any special event thing that I put out or anything like that. So what you have to do, if you have all of a sudden not gotten a newsletter, you need to go back and find an old copy of the newsletter, and down at the very bottom it'll have like your subscription or your preferences or something like that. Click on that. It shows up different for different email providers, but click on that and then make sure that you opt into all emails. I cannot change it due to spam laws and regulations. I can't even re-add you to the list. If I try to do that, you will never get another email from me ever again, because then your email provider freaks out. It's terrible. It really is. I really hate it because I get tons of spam and junk stuff. No matter how many times I undo that, you can't. Or, block it or whatever. It never happens. But mine, a legitimate email, gets blocked all the time. It's annoying. But if you can do that, that'd be great. If you do have another email address you could sign up with, you can do that on our website. The best way to keep this from happening is to add our email address, themodernskein@gmail.com, into your address book. And that shows your internet or your email provider that I'm a real friend of you in your email, and it's more likely to come through and not automatically get marked as spam or junk or anything like that. Always new things to be learning about technology. Okay, so now that we've spent the past 8.5 minutes on that, let's show some finished objects. Well, one finished object. And I did not knit this. I'm telling you, I have been so busy. I have not had the knitting time that I want, and it's kind of bothering me, and it's almost putting me in a little bit of a knitting funk. So I think this next project I'm going to show you after my whip is helping to get me out of it. So anywho, this is the finished object. Let me get it on the right side here. Look at this gorgeous thing. Isn't it beautiful? So this is Adrift. Look how sheer and breezy this is. This is Adrift by Veera Valimaki, and it's knit up in 2 skeins of Red Stag Fiber Riyadh, which is a 50% silk, 50% camel yarn, and it's just the softest, most silky, drapey, fluid shawl ever. Really nice, kind of a crescent shape with different bands of texture and garter. So you've got textured stitches, you have garter, you have little eyelets. It's beautiful, beautiful shawl. And it's nice and long, but not too deep, so it's not a bulky shawl. This is good for our climate, or if you're wanting a more lightweight shawl, or you don't want a big giant shawl. You can see it just lays nicely around the neck. You have a little bit of a tail, but not like super long tails. And then especially knit out of the Riyadh, it's really loose, drapey, lightweight, and just lays and hangs nicely. The colorway of this is the Scottish Thistle, so like the pale lavender kind of color. Let's see here. Oh, so technically per the pattern, this is short about, I think, 3 rows, just because of the yardage. We did not want to break into that third skein and just use like a little tiny bit of it. So if you do want to do this, I would recommend just getting the 2 skeins and just leaving off the last 3 to 5 rows of the pattern and binding off early. You still have a very generous, nice shawl, and you won't have to break in for just a little bit of a third skein. I'm all about maximizing your yarn and not having a ton of leftover. I mean, we love leftover for scrappy projects and all that sort of stuff, but especially like, I just hate breaking into a skein and using like this much of it, and then you have almost a full-size skein left over from a project, and maybe you don't want another project in the same color. So definitely on something like this, it's easy to just leave off the last couple rows and bind off a few rows early, and you still have a nice big shawl. You can see it doubled up. It's a big shawl. I mean, it's big without being too big. That makes sense, because it is just 2 skeins. So it fits, you can fold it up, fit nicely in your purse or your tote bag, and it's just so soft, you guys, so soft. This Riyadh is amazing if you haven't worked with it yet. We have it in all the colors except one we've already sold out of, but we have it in all the colors on the website, so check it out. So if you're familiar with Red Stag, you know he has his jewel tones. Well, all the colors will show up a little bit differently on the Riyadh, because the Riyadh naturally is kind of a golden undertone. So everything's a little bit warmer, a little bit golden, glistening, shimmery because of the silk. It's super, super pretty. So, excuse me, the colors just pop. Okay, I need my coffee this morning. I've been up since 4:25. I've either had too much or not enough coffee, and I think it's not enough, even though I kind of feel a little hyped up. I actually had a really good night's sleep last night, which was really good. Okay, so works in progress. As you know, we have our Stephen West knit along happening, and we do have that as a in-person and virtual knit along, because you can join us via our Zoom knit nights on Thursdays. So hopefully you guys tune in. We will put the Zoom information in the show notes below, and yeah, there's still plenty of time to join in, because we're not ending it until the end of May. And so you'll have plenty of time to cast on whatever sort of project you want from Stephen. Literally any project will work, and you can join in. We've got people doing shawls, we've got people doing hats, we've got people doing sweaters and jackets and all the fun things. So my project is the Marled Magic Sweater. It's in that book right there. Oh. Okay. Marled Magic Sweater. Get the picture. So you might think, that's kind of weird looking. It's very oversized, and of course, he didn't weave in his ends. Am I going to weave in my ends? We'll talk about that later. Anyway, so that's the sweater. And I'm almost done with section 2. So section 1 was this meshy fun thing that I think I showed last time. And then section 2, you picked up and you knit along the side of the mesh and you do this seed stitch panel. And so I marled and faded this. So this is my last section. So I started with this, holding just 2 strands of the same color for this first section. And then I dropped 1 strand and added 1 strand of this. And then I dropped this and I just have 2 strands of that. So that's how I do my marled fade, which he kind of tells you different ways you can do it, which this is one of them, is faded marl technique. So let's see. I believe this is kind of how it will be. So this part goes underneath and then you pick up and you knit over here. I don't remember which section is next, but that's about where I am of my sweater. I really love his patterns for their unique construction and just really fun things. And like, I'm excited about this one because just when I start getting bored with a section, I have the next section to go to and a different color yarn and everything. So I showed some of my yarn choices last time, and I'm going to post on Instagram kind of a little collage of my yarn choices so you guys can see all the different yarns that I'll be pulling for my sweater. I'm obviously not using up all of them. I'm just pulling from all sorts of different scraps. Now, I have not really worked on much of anything else, but I did. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. We have lost stitches. My yarn bag is a mess. Everything is all tangled up around each other. Hold on. Technical difficulties. Okay. Stitches saved. I'm in the middle of a row here, but see what I'm talking about? Probably just gave all sorts of people the heebie-jeebies. But I did cast this on, and you're like, what is that? So if you saw the hot minute that it was posted, we got in, I don't even have another skein of it up here, but we received a batch of, where's my ball? Of the Hedgehog Fiber Tweedy Noir. And it sold out in like an hour. I did not keep it all. I didn't, promise. I only kept 6 skeins. We got 40 in, so I feel like that was justified. So this is the Tweedy Noir. It's a 50% Falkland, 50%, which is the black, an undyed Falkland, and then 50% recycled fibers. So it's really cool. They recycle all the bits and bobs and ends from the hedgehog dyeing process, and then also accept customer donations of old yarn, scraps, bits, ends and whatnot, and mill it into this really cool yarn. So there's also the cream version where they used an undyed Falkland that's in a cream color and blended in, and then there's the noir, which is the black. So I have cast on the Winter's Beach cardigan, and it's a pattern by Andrea Mowry. It's an all over cable, And it's going to be so fun. It's like a cardigan with pockets, little kind of cropped cardigan, but not super cropped, but not an extra long cardigan. And I'm super excited about that. So I'm only on the ribbing, but that's kind of my project to at least once a week pick up and do a few rounds on it. Of course, I still have my test knit that I am working on. It looks the same, honestly. I did like that much progress on it. And my Seve. The Seve is taking a bit of a backseat only because I'm kind of tired with working with worsted weight yarn. I'm looking forward to more linens, fingering weight, sport weight sort of projects because I want spring and summer to be here so badly. And it kind of is this week. Yesterday and the weekend it was pretty cool in the mornings, but it was so nice and sunny and like 73, 75 during the afternoons. Went on walks in the afternoon. I cleaned off my porch. Did some spring cleaning stuff over the weekend. It was so nice. So looking forward to the more spring and summer-like weather. That's my favorite. Give me the warmth and the heat any time of the day, and I'm happy. But back to the Hedgehog Tweety. We will be getting in another batch of Hedgehog Tweety sometime soon. I don't know when. It's kind of up to, we just put in that we want it, and then we get contacted when they have it available because it is a recycled yarn. So it's not something that they always have in stock. They just go through batches. And I believe the next time we get a batch, it will be the cream. So if you are interested, I'm expecting it to be somewhere around maybe late April, May, somewhere around in there that we get notified that we can get a batch of the cream. So if you're interested, you can send us an email and we'll put you on kind of a wait list. So that's kind of what we did with the noir. We took names of people that were interested, and so when it came in, because it's just so crazy to put it on the website and it go in 5 seconds, then we reached out and let them know we had it, if they still wanted it, to pay the invoice, and we got it shipped out. So if you are interested in the cream or the noir, you can go ahead and put us or send us an email, and we will put you on the wait list. And then when it gets closer and we know for a fact that we're going to get a batch in, then we'll reach out and let you guys know. What else? That's about it as far as, of course, what I'm working on and everything. I do plan on, in April, casting on some linen projects. I don't know exactly what, but I want to do one crochet and one knit. I'm thinking I want to do water clover, or which is a shirt, but then there's also a cardigan beach cover-up sort of thingy called, I believe it's the Grand Arches cardigan by Knits and Knots on Ravelry and on Instagram. And I'm kind of leaning towards that because it's kind of beachy, open, pool cover-up, kind of it's really popular right now, fashion-wise, to have like the kimono or the big, almost like an open front muumuu. That's a bad word. It's not really a muumuu. It's really more of like a duster, very open, very breezy duster. And so I feel like that would be really cool and on trend. Kind of has a Free People kind of vibe, but about the same cost doing it yourself still, but you can say you made it. And then for a knit item, I'm not entirely sure what sweater or shawl or whatever I want to do for a knit linen item. Well, no, I do. I take that back. I know exactly what I want. I'll have it right here. I forgot I had already picked this out. This is the Mila Topin, or the Mila top, and definitely wanting that striped short sleeve kind of top. And then I also want to do the Racerback tee by Jessie May. It's not a tee, it's just a racerback. It's a sleeveless top. I want to do the racerback and maybe the Summer Court by Tristan, Dragon Horde Designs. I want some sleeveless, like tank tops in my summer repertoire. If you don't want sleeveless, there's tons of short sleeve options, and then some sleeveless options. Of course, you can just continue and make little cap sleeves or whatnot, but there's all sorts of really fun patterns coming out, or that are out for spring and summer knits. And so over the next few of our Instagram lives, I will definitely be showing you those, along with any new and fun patterns that are coming out. And if you do miss the lives, we do them Tuesday mornings and Friday mornings. But if you miss them, they're all saved to IGTV, and so you can go back and watch the pattern updates. Because basically in our IGTVs, that's where we go over new patterns and the yarn to go with the patterns. Sometimes it's new yarn, sometimes it's yarn that we have all the time. So it's always a good thing to reference back to, not just catch live, but it's also fun to watch after the fact, because we're just talking about patterns and yarn to go with those patterns for the most part. So I think that's about everything that I wanted to cover today. Hopefully we will see you guys in the store or online for the anniversary weekend. Quick note, it will be busy. So if you are calling, texting, IG messaging, just be aware there will probably be a little bit of a lag time, but we will get back with you as soon as possible. Yeah. I just cracked my shoulder. So thank you so much for tuning in. I know this is a little bit of a shorter episode than usual, but I just haven't been knitting as much just because of time. But once this anniversary weekend is passed, then I'll have a deep breath moment and hopefully reward myself Monday by sitting and doing as little as possible except for knitting. That's my plan. And maybe taking a nap. But thank you so much, and we'll see you guys next week on the next episode of the podcast. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.